Good afternoon, good afternoon. Today, let's do money. Let's do the financial math. Okay, so before we start answering the questions, let's talk about the few things that you should know first. Let's start from the formulas. So, we have this one, we call it a simple interest. So a simple interest is as what? A is equal to P1 plus I multiplied by N. This is our simple interest. So we also have this one, we call it a compound interest is SA is equal to P1 plus I to the exponent N. And then we also have this one, we call it a reducing balance. This one is a reducing balance method. So it's A is equal to P1 minus, be careful, it's minus I and then to the power N. And this one we also call it a lump sum. So this one is also a lump sum. We also call it a lump sum. So okay, now let's start. We know A is what? Is an accumulated amount, or is the total amount after the number of years or after the number of payments. So it's the accumulated amount. P is either you deposit or you invest, so we call it a principal amount. A principal is either you deposit it or you invest. It will be up to you, or you take a loan. So that is, we call it a principal amount. So I is our interest rate. It's our interest rate. So if you are given, for example, you are given 12% as an interest rate, it means that is 12%, you divide by 100, and then it's going to be 0.12. So this is how you deal with R. Always you divide it by 100, always. So what is N? N is the number of payments. N is the number of payments. Sometimes you can say it's the number of years, but let's call it the number of payments. Then, now let's talk about the formulas first. So, let's say the question comes and say compounded yearly or annually or per annum. So once they say compounded yearly, annually or per annum, it means that this is the formula you're going to use. P1 plus I to the power N. So this is the formula that you are going to use when they say it's compounded annually or yearly or per annum. So now let's say the question says now it's compounded semi-yearly or half yearly. It means what is A, this is the formula that we're going to use, A, P1 plus I, since it's semi, we know semi means half, we divide I by 2, and then we multiply N by 2. So this is the formula you're going to use when they say semi-yearly or half-yearly. So we know that semi means half. So now let's say now, let's say it's compounded now. It's compounded quarterly. Compounded quarterly. So we know that quarterly is what? It's 4, or divide by 4. So we're going to say A is equal to P1 plus I divided by 4 and multiply by 4. So this is the formula you're going to use when they say is compounded quarterly. And then the last one, compounded monthly. Compounded monthly, it means this is the formula I'm going to use. A is equal to P1 plus I divided by 12. We know that a year it has 12 months, so we divide by 12 since it's compounded monthly, and then N multiply by 12. So it means when they say compounded monthly, this is the formula that you're going to use. So now let's answer the questions. Let's answer the questions. We have the first question. It says 1,570 Rand is invested at 12% per annum compound interest. Remember, compound. After how many years will the investment be worth 23,000 Rand? So what we're going to do first, we analyze the statement. They said it's compound interest, but what is compounded per annum? So what are we going to do now? 7.1. We are going to say they said it's compound interest, so it's A is equal to P1 plus, they said per annum. It means I to the exponent N. Now, what is A? Like I said, A is our accumulated amount, or is the total amount after the number of payments. So the total amount is what? Is 23,000. So here we're going to have 23,000 as equals to the money that has been invested, which is 1,570 Rand. 1 plus I. We are given I as 12, so we divide 12 by 100, and then we're going to get what? 0.12. So it means here is 0.12, then to the power N. Remember, we're looking for N. They said how many years. So let's say we divide the whole equation by 1,570. So we're going to say when we divide, we'll have 1 plus 0.12, so 1.12 to the power N is equals to 14,649,68,153. So remember, this is not the final answer, so it means you don't round off, you write every digit that is in the calculator. So make sure that you don't round off unless it's a final answer. So now, how do we move forward? We have the exponent n. We're looking for n. It means what we're going to apply the log both sides. So since n is the exponent, we're going to have n here, and then the log of 1,12 is equals to, we apply the log both sides, 14,649,68153, and then we're looking for n. It means we divide both sides by the log of 1,12. So we're going to have n is equal to the log of 14,649,6853 all over the log of 1,12. So n is equals to 23,69 years, or you can say n is equals to 24 years, or you can say n is equal to 23,7 years. You round this, become 7, so it's 27 years. So they accept everything here. They won't penalize you if you write it this way. It's either you write this, or you write this, or you write that. So it will be up to you. Now let's move to the following question. Now the following question says, a farmer has just bought a new tractor for 800,000. He has decided to replace the tractor in 5 years' time. When its trade-in value will be 200,000. The replacement cost of the tractor is expected to increase by 8% per annum. Remember? So now the farmer wants to replace his present tractor with a new one in 5 years. In 5 years' time, the farmer wants to pay cash for the new tractor after trading in his present tractor for 200,000. How much will he need to pay? So it means now we're looking for the accumulated amount. How much will he need to pay? So this one, so first the formula A is equal to P, since they said what is compounded annually or per annum, so it's 1 plus I to the exponent n. Now we are looking for A as the accumulated amount, or as the total amount after 5 years. So what is the principal amount? The principal amount is 800,000, or he'll be investing 800,000 per annum, every month. So it's 800,000 1 plus I, remember 8%, 8% divided by 100 is equal to 0.08. So is 0.08. How many years? They said it's 5 years per annum. So now what is this? We're going to have 800,000. This plus that is 1.08 to the exponent 5. Now what is this? This is going to give us, remember, it's money, 1175,462,46. So Now, this is the money that you will be investing for the rest of 5 years. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to take this money, then we minus the trade-in amount, which is 200,000. The trade-in amount of 200,000. So now, what do we get? Now we're going to have 975,462. Oh, sorry, it's not comma. It's 975,462,46. So this is the money, or this is the amount that will be accumulated at the end of 5 years. When we minus the trading amount, which is the 200,000. So let's move to the following question. Okay, 7.1. At what annual percentage interest rate, compounded quarterly, should a lump sum be invested in order for it to double in 6 years? So now we are not given any amount, but they want to know the interest rate after 6 years if the lump sum that has been invested is double after 6 years. So what are we going to do first? So since I said the lump sum is the same as the compound interest, so it's 1 plus I to the power n. This is the lump sum formula. But they said what? They said compounded quarterly. So it's A is equal to P1 plus I. Remember, I said quarterly, we divide by 4, and then n multiply by 4. So now, remember, we're not given anything here. So what are we going to do? Let's say we make P5, X. So let's say this one is X. Now they said the amount or the lump sum will be double at the end of 6 years, will be double. Remember, P is the principal amount, or is the money that you invest, for example, and then A is the accumulated amount, and that means is the total amount that you'll get after 6 years. So they say it will be double at the end of 6 years. It means what? Double, it will be 2x. That's double. Okay, so 1 plus I all over 4, this one will be 4n. So now, what are we going to do? Oh, we have n as a 6. Sorry. So let's say this is 6. So we have 2x is equal to x 1 plus I all over 4. Then 4 times 6 is what? It's 24. So we divide by x, the whole equation by x. Then 2 is equal to 1 plus I over 4. So this will divide this will divide this to the power 24. Now we want to get rid of this 24 this side. So what are we going to do? We multiply the exponent by 1 over 24. 1 over 24. So it means that this side we have 2 to the power 1 over 24 is equals to 1 plus I over 4. So now let's say 1 to the other side, I over 4 equal to 2 to the 24 minus 1. So let's say now we multiply the whole equation by 4. We multiply by 4. We multiply by 4. So I is equals to this is what 0,1172 from the calculator, and then remember I is always in percentage, so we multiply by 100, and then it will be what I is going to be 11.72%. So it means that the interest rate after 6 years, if the lump sum is double, it will be 11.72%.